Hello and welcome to Demon Reviews, episode 200. Woo! Um, that's a Pokemon number. Do I know it off the top of my head? No, I do not. Um, I'm your host, Springy, as always, and joining us today is our very special guest.
Hello, I am Ash, also known as ash04.cause on Instagram and TikTok. I am very excited and nervous to be here today.
Awesome. Well, not awesome about the nervousness, but awesome that you're here. And I just realized the Finance Phrase poster behind you. I literally have that exact same poster right there.
I literally have this one, and then I have the one from the movie literally on the back of my door. You can't see it, but it's on the other side of my door.
It's over there somewhere.
It's somewhere over there.
Exactly. Yeah, I have. This is basically just like there's like a Financial Phrase wall on one of the four walls. I think it's technically that one. Um, Anywho, thank you for taking the time and being here today with us.
Gotta take a breather.
You're fine, don't worry.
But thank you for inviting me to be on your channel. I am excited to see it when it comes out.
Um, so the next question technically is going to be: have you ever been interviewed like this before?
Honestly, no. This is like my first time, so I was like, oh my gosh, what should I wear? Should I like do my makeup? Should I make sure like everything is perfect? But I was like, let me just do this in my room because it shows off me pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, makes sense. I mean, yeah, I obviously did not have time to make everything perfect, as we know from before we started recording when I was panicking. Um, but I'm so happy to introduce you to the world of interviewing. Imagination. Um, so the next question on my list to do here is going to be, oh my God, words. Would you rather eat Cheetos or go on a hike?
um, Cheetos because we're gonna pretend like I don't have a bag like 2 feet away from me right now.
I feel that. I really do. Um, so people can assume if because they're either fans of the show, fans of yours, or right as they clicked on this video, they went to your social media links that are all down there, or at least they waited to get all of them. You are in fact one of the cosplayers of the interwebs.
Yes.
Um, so I want to ask, do you have any other new cosplays planned to do that you're able to tell us about without me giving you a small fee of $5?
Um, Cosplaying for right now, I have Applejack from My Little Pony. I have cosplayed like the other five. Some of them might not be on my account yet because I have to redo them. Applejack's definitely one of my cosplays. One that I have recently announced and I have the outfit for, I just got to finish some props for, is Klinka, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, from the Vocaloid song Bacterial Contamination, if anybody knows that. Um, Other than that, I'm trying to think. Probably because Black Butler season 4 literally just came out, CL is probably coming back. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure yet.
Awesome, amazing, stupendous. There you go. That's a new word for my vocabulary for episode 200. Here's a third word for you. I'm gonna keep on saying over and over again. Um, so I saw that you are also on the newer and not controversial, but
Controversial.
I'm gonna stick with that word, controversial. Social media platform of the Tickety Talkities. I just want to ask, why did you start using that social media in the first place? Since it is newer and everything.
I think in like 2019, I remember people making a bunch of cringe compilations for TikTok, and somehow through that I found cosplay TikTok, specifically Danganronpa cosplay, and I like fell in love with it. And I was like, well, maybe it's not so bad. And I downloaded it, and I was like, oh my god, I think this is. I want to do this because this looks like so much fun. So I was just like, maybe I hope I don't end up in one of those cringe compilations, but like,
Oh, I know I have. Um, I know that for a fact. I've been sent like multiple clips of just like myself in those. I'm like, okay, I get it. I don't need to see it. I'm good. Um, uh, yeah. How I found it originally is very similar. TikTok compilations on the YouTubes and all that. And then went down the rabbit hole from there. Uh, so what was your first ever cosplay you've ever done?
first ever. When I first started cosplaying in general, it was CL, also from Black Butler, but I think the first cosplay I kind of took more seriously was Miku. I feel like that's like 9 times out of 10 if you go to like most baby cosplayers like anime anything like that and you're like what was your first cosplay, who do you want to cosplay? Miku. She's easy recognizable, get her outfit anywhere.
Yeah,
Miku.
true, true. Well, before we continue, I just have to do the stereotypical YouTube thing of don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you have any questions for our lovely guest here, don't forget to put them in the comment section below. If you have to get them back onto the show in the same capacity, we'll ask them your questions. And don't forget to follow our lovely guests on all the social media platforms. There'll be a way to get to all of them in the description below. Still got it. Okay. Behind the scenes, I have not done an interview in a hot second, so everything went wrong. Um, so what it was one? What is the hardest thing about getting into one of your cosplays?
Oh my god, I always think it's the time to find like the time and motivation. I'm in school, I'm in college, so and work, so that kind of decreases the free time that I have. But then sometimes it's like okay, I have the time, and then I'm gonna use Beto from Genshin Impact for an example. That outfit is kind of complicated to get into,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very like sensory overloading. Like the moment you have it on, it's kind of like okay, I can't take this off for a while. So sometimes that's kind of just like, you know what, maybe another time, or maybe I just won't cosplay her today. Just something easier.
Mm-hmm. I definitely get that. I haven't gotten into one of my full cosplays in like 2 months or something like that.
I know MomoCon's coming up, so I'm like, I have to mentally prepare myself to be like 8 hours in one of these outfits.
Yeah. I was gonna say I understand. Like I've never gone to a convention in costume yet, so hey, but yeah, I also feel just like the amount of time a lot of the time because I am also a college student and I'm working, so it's hard. It's hard to have a the motivation and b the time itself to do it.
Yeah.
So my next question here is coming from a past guest, a Mr. Zoom underscore 2028. Bacon question mark.
Bacon! Exclamation mark.
Wrong. No. Great answer. Great
Bacon
answer.
eggs!
Ah,
Exclamation mark.
okay. Okay. I hear it. I hear it. Well, the next question is a more. It's also from the same past guest, same Mr. Zoom underscore 2028. It's a even longer, more complicated question. Peanut butter question mark.
Only in Reese's. Period. I don't mind peanut butter sandwiches. Like now that I'm like thinking like logically, I don't mind peanut butter sandwiches, but I ate like so much in like middle school and high school because I didn't feel like making my own lunch that I'm like really sick of it.
I get that. I get that. Well, the next question is kind of just a little mixture we put together. Bacon and peanut butter question. Excuse me, Mark.
No. Period.
Fair. Uh, we actually did do that. Sorry, I asked that question so many times that I actually did make that, and it wasn't that bad. I recorded myself and everything. It's cringy as hell. Speaking of, but on the Demon Interviews, I believe it's on the Demon Interviews Instagram page, which is also all of the Demon Interview stuff is also down there as well. Are they all active? We're going on to the next question. Uh, so this next question is going to kind of start a cacophony of many questions. You talked about how you're going to be going to MomoCon this upcoming, hopefully, and everything.
Yeah.
How many conventions have you gone to before, or if these are how many different ones have you gone to before?
3, 4, relatively speaking. I tend to stay in state. Like I said, I don't have time to really travel. I want to, but I don't have time to travel at the moment. So MomoCon, AWA, Atlanta's Anime Day. I've been to. I've been to Japan Fest, but that was like what 7 years ago. So
The Possums of Awesome. Well, so the next kind of we're on a roll of conventions a little bit. So just continuing on from. Oh man, that one would have been perfect to ask right after the bacon. Oh well, I'll do that one after all these. Sorry, I got distracted. So the next question is going to be: what is one of your favorite convention memories?
memories. Oh my god. Convention memories. That's honestly it's kind of hard. I guess the memory um I guess it's one of my favorite, but also one of my most awkward memories. I was like 14, and this was like my first time going to MomoCon. I was of course Miku, and I think we had just walked in. Like we had just walked in, just got our badges, and we were like, okay, let's find something to do. This guy comes up to me and my friend. Honestly forgot what he's wearing. It might have been like some tactical kind of gear. Just comes over, starts praising praise Hatsune Miku, like down, bending, bowing over, and I'm sitting here like, okay, thank you. I'm like, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to say to this. Like, praise Hatsune Miku, praise Queen Miku, like all those things, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Never saw that man again, I'm pretty sure, but I'm like, okay, well, I'll remember that.
You're gonna be a story on a YouTube video one day. Make that a mental note. Uh, so you already talked about the upcoming cons you're going to be attending to, which is going to be MomoCon. So we're just going to skip over that question. So then we're going to go back to the question that would have been perfect if I remembered it. Right after the bacon one, coming from a past guest, a Winter underscore Phoenix. How do you like your eggs?
I am so picky about them. I only eat them one way, and that's scrambled with a little bit of pepper and salt. I don't do cheese, like cheesy eggs. I don't do sunny side up, sunny side down, any other way. I will just eat them scrambled. Otherwise, for some reason, like it will just taste gross to me. Like I'll eat the scrambled eggs and I'll be fine with it, but if it's cooked any other way, I'll just be like kind of like pushing it away. I don't know what about it either.
Hmm. Well then.
Oh my gosh, I hope you don't hear my cat like in the back.
I have 13 cats. If I didn't hear a cat, I would be losing my mind. Oh, kitty! I see them. I see.
I have 4 of them.
You have 4?
Yes, this is the one who is screaming at the door. This is Ender. If it's
Aw.
not obvious, he's named after an Enderman from Minecraft.
Aw.
Very skittish, so that was honestly perfect. He's very skittish and does not like to be looked at, if you couldn't tell.
Look at that kitty.
And I have the other 3 like right here. Here's Kibo.
Oh! They blended right into the blanket. I didn't even see them.
He's very sleepy right now. I know, like my camera lighting is so bad. And then I have Samus from Metroid right here. Also kind
Oh.
of crunched himself in the corner, and then not to put him on top. And then I have this little one. I'll bring her closer.
Aw.
She is Tifa from Final Fantasy. She's got 3 legs and no tail.
Aw.
She
We
is very funny.
we actually also have a three-legged cat.
You hear that, Tifa?
You're not alone.
So she's the only one.
Yeah, his name's Loki. He's probably my mom's bedroom right now. We say that like his tail is so fluffy because all the hair that's gonna be on his legs just like went to his tail.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, I love how it went from eggs to cats. That's my favorite type of transition.
Yeah, I get distracted very easily.
I feel that. That's why I have my door shut and the cats are all out there. Hopefully, or
Yeah, I
cats
wanted
just
to
gonna
be
appear.
here, so
Hmm.
you might see them like fighting or something. The Tifa 3 legged one, she loves to fight. So if if in the background it's another free show.
uh, so this. So you said you do have a job and everything. So this is coming from the same past guest, Winter Phoenix. And if it's okay, what is your job outside of cosplay? If you don't mind me asking.
I have 2 jobs. They're both part time. I do pet sitting for one of them, ironically. But I also am a lead cashier, so I help frost cupcakes, sell cupcakes, make ice cream, all that type of stuff. So that's pretty fun.
I think that's pretty sweet.
You're funny.
Yeah,
I
I.
haven't heard that one
Oh,
before.
I know. Totally original content coming from here. Uh, God. Okay, so this next question is going to be: would you rather keep a pet zombie or kill it?
What would I need a pet zombie for?
If
That's the main question I'm thinking of. Like, is it to terrorize people? I'm totally a nice person. When you come to my account, I promise I'm a really nice person when you talk to me.
terrorize everyone.
I mean, it would be a good guard. Pray it doesn't get out. So, using that knowledge, I'd keep one
Hmm.
as like a guard system, an alarm system, not to terrorize people, only to terrorize trespassers.
Exactly. See, if you come into the door, you're gonna get a zombie. Well, next up is going to be who is your co- who is your biggest cosplay inspiration or inspirations if you have multiple?
One of the first inspirations, since I've like first started cosplaying, was 2 TikTok users. I know one of them doesn't. Honestly, I don't think both of them either use TikTok anymore. One was I think Bara.png. They were one of the first Danganronpa YouTubers or TikTokers that I saw. And then Chizai. I don't think I pronounced that correctly. They were also one of my biggest inspirations. But right now, honestly, some of my closer friends, so Kessler or Odachi Cosplay on Instagram, Kira, she's amazing. May X Doll, Teeny Cosplays, they're probably some of my biggest inspirations right now.
Awesome, amazing, stupendous.
I was waiting for it.
Gotta get that third one in there. Um. So, the last question before we go into the final four is going to be trying to find a good one. Does the content you make that you enjoyed making do the best in algorithms and all that nonsense, or is it the ones that surprise you?
Honestly, it doesn't do too well. I know cosplay in general isn't a really big algorithm, but it doesn't do too well. But I don't really care too much about that. Sometimes like some of them will just blow up randomly. Like I uploaded like this Miss Hina video like 2022, 2023. like really late at night at like 2 a.m. and I was not expecting like any traction whatsoever. But that one kind of like had like 200 likes or something maybe. But I was like genuinely surprised that one because I was like that was kind of not low effort, but I'm like I didn't put too much time in it, so I was like, well, that's fun.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to go on to the final. Excuse me, my God. Final four questions of the day. Firstly, do you have any questions for me as an individual or about the show in general?
I already know you like FNAF, but what other games do you like?
Shocking.
I didn't. I totally didn't clock that.
Totally not at all. And I definitely wasn't messing with my Fast Phrase Funko Pops. That was the ones who were falling up there. Uh, Definitely not. Um, what other video game? Um, the Doki Doki Literature Club is a very interesting one that I enjoy watching videos for and doing content about. As I then sent you like 5 videos of it. um, this Velvet's in this one and that one and this one and that one. Uh, Also, my favorite game of all time, other than Final Fantasy Freddy's, is Skylanders. That is my number one game. I hope it comes back one day.
One day.
Probably not, but I can hope and pray as long as I want. Um,
When was the last update for that game, anyways? I think the last time I've ever seen any content was like for the Wii U, maybe,
um,
and that was years ago.
the newest game came out with a version on Nintendo Switch, but it was like when it first came out in like 2017, 2016, something like that.
2024. Maybe it's the time for Skylanders.
Exactly. It's the year of Skylanders. I'm telling you. 2024, year of the Skylander, man.
I'm gonna get it sometime. Maybe by
One
the end
day.
of the year. One
One
day.
day. One day, all the Skylanders are under my bed will make sense. One day. So, do you have any other questions for me as an individual about the show in general?
Do you plan on having like any other different content from the ones that you currently make, like the interviews, some gameplays, stuff like that?
We, as of right now, there's not a current plan for new types. Primarily because it's hard to keep up with the ones we do have. Uh, because we have the interviews, we have the character interviews, we have. I am hoping, if my computer can handle it, which I don't think it can, uh, doing a modded Minecraft thing.
Ooh,
My computer will cry,
literally.
literally, and explode. But I will try it, and we'll see how that works.
My computer, I have a gaming laptop, but I literally opened Minecraft with like Windows, like Microsoft's Minecraft. My
Mhm.
game was lagging. Like my entire computer just crashed. And I was like, oh, this is supposed to be Minecraft.
Yeah.
No problem. Microsoft, and it wasn't even like I had any high settings. It was just that Microsoft decided, not today.
Not today. Yeah, the mod I'm currently playing with already crashes my computer when I go into the nether. So, full run, no nether. Uh, which is not possible. Um, Anywho, that's the only thing currently in the pipeline for different, newer content. But pretty much the other things that I'm working on is more character interviews. I want to get Has Been Hotel one going. There's still some Ruby ones. I want to do another FNAF one at some point. I want to do another Doki Doki Literature Club one because that one's our highest viewed video.
Yeah.
Feel like we need a part 2 to that. and not make it creepy. Because I know I said and I would do their questions, but God, I'm not doing those ones.
Yeah.
Or your suggestions from that one. A lot of them are, Anywho.
I know the game says the right team, guys, but like, chill out a little bit.
And at the time, the cosplayers were not, so it's very weird. And I informed some of them about this fact.
Yeah.
um, Before I go into a rant about that, um, my next question for you is going to be: would you ever like to return to the show in the future in a different capacity, or about another
Yeah,
interview?
I honestly wouldn't mind another interview, character interviews when you get modded Minecraft or games. And then both of our computers can crash together.
Just like at the same time. Ready? One, two, die. Um, just start crying. Um, thing is, it works. It's just gonna be laggy as hell, and that's not a good video.
Have
Um,
a those Minecraft fails videos with the big thumbnails and the big red pointing arrows.
exactly. See, I just need to copy Matt Pat and Mr. Beast with their type of thumbnails as well, plus all the other ones. Get an animator to make my video to make my thumbnails. Uh,
And then you translate it into, you can have one of those Minecraft animators make one of those videos in Minecraft for you.
exactly. See, we can just have a whole thing about it. um, and golly gee willikers, that see, there's the new content for you. Um, Anywho, what do you have any suggestions on who should be on the show in the future? Not Velvet. They've been on the show too many times. So
Um,
always happy to have them back on.
I guess one of the people I mentioned earlier, Kessler or Odachi Cosplay, he could be good. He is honestly really funny, so like I feel like he definitely bring some extra humor, extra funny scenarios here. Plus, it will give him a chance to rant and talk shit about me. We have a rivalry, so, quote unquote. But if he tries to, I was nice to him in this video.
I,
So
so if he's rude, that means you win.
exactly, I was good by comparison.
um, Awesome. Well, my last question for today is: do you have any questions for a future guest?
Mario Kart. Which character do you pick? Because that definitely the character you pick says a lot about you. And I say that because I always pick Rosalina. But I feel like there's certain options that I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And there's certain options where I'm like, that's saying something.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, with that, I hope you have a nice rest of your day. I hope everybody watching also has a nice rest of their day. And at least I will see you in the next video. Bye.